This week's active Amber Alert is on Relisha Rudd. In 2014, Relisha was an 8-year-old girl who lived with her mother, Shamika Young, and her siblings in Washington, D.C. For over a year, they had been living in a homeless shelter that housed many families and over 600 children. A lot of the families that lived in the shelter befriended each other, especially a man named Cahill Tatum. He was the janitor at the shelter. He really took to Relisha, and he would buy her things, take her shopping, out to eat. They were so close, Relisha called him her goddaddy. On February 25th, 2014, Relisha's mother Shamika asked Cahill to take care of Relisha. Shamika wanted a better life for her. She claims the conditions of the shelter were not ideal. Also on this day, Relisha had accumulated her fifth unexcused absence from school, and the school had set up a parent-teacher conference for March 5th. Shamika attended the conference and was told about services that could help her make sure Relisha attended school. On March 19th, 2014, social workers came to the shelter to talk to Shamika about Relisha's absences from school. Relisha had missed over 30 days by that time, but many of the absences had been excused because Shamika told the school Relisha was under the care of a Dr. Tatum. School officials called this quote-unquote Dr. Tatum and told him he had to provide a medical reason and documentation for Relisha's continued absences. He told school officials that he was treating her for neurological problems and he was going to discharge her by the end of next week. Relisha accumulated a further 5 unexcused absences from school, although her younger brothers continued to attend. The school reported her absences to Children and Family Services, which is required by law after so many absences. However, Children and Family Services didn't consider it a high priority case, and days later they finally reached out to this Dr. Tatum and arranged a meeting. He of course didn't show up for the meeting, and it was reported that Cahill Tatum left the shelter from his job earlier that day in a hurry before the end of his shift. The social worker then learned he was not really a doctor and called the child abuse hotline and the police. When the police asked Shamika where her daughter was, she informed them that Relisha was with Dr. Tatum at a medical conference in Atlanta, Georgia. Shamika said that they left March 8th, 2014, and she didn't know when they'd be back, but that she had spoken to Relisha on March 17th. Calls to Dr. Tatum went straight to voicemail. Family went to his home, but no one was there. Shamika told police that Relisha was safe and did not want to file a missing persons report. However, police on March 20th issued an Amber Alert. Police went into overdrive when Cahill Tatum's wife, whom he was divorcing, was found passed away in a motel room in Maryland. Cahill and Relisha were still nowhere to be found. At that time, police officially charged Cahill with the murder of his wife. Police also released video surveillance from a motel of Cahill and Relisha walking down the hallway. This is the last sighting of Relisha. Sadly, on March 31st, 2014, the body of Cahill Tatum was found. He had taken his own life. Relisha hasn't been seen or heard from since. Relisha would now be 18 years old. This is an age progression photo of what is believed she would have looked like at 16 years old. At the time of her disappearance on March 1st, 2014, Relisha was 8 years old. She was 4 foot and weighed 80 pounds with black hair and brown eyes. If anyone has any information about Relisha, please call the Metropolitan Police at 202-265-9100. What do you think happened to Relisha? Let me know in the comments.